88 to 91 FM, Radio 2.
Where we've music and entertainment from now until midnight and beyond. Big bands, jazz, the movies, they're all here. Beginning with 90 minutes or thereabouts in the company of Alan Dell.
Hello again. We're about to dust off a few more requested 78s from the Dance Band Days archives. Some not so old, but the first one really does need a dust off because it takes us back to 1929. At fairly regular intervals, I get a card from a Mr. Jack Cooper. Now, that's a pretty famous name in British Dance Band Days world, I suppose. Jack Cooper sang with Ambrose and with Ronnie Monroe and Jay Wilbur and several other bands, including Jack Hilton. And it's a Hilton record that I have for a Mr. Jack Cooper, this is a different one, of course, who lives in Taunton, Somerset. He would like the well-known favourite Rita, title song of the show which opened on Broadway in 1927. Jack Hilton recorded music from the show in 1929 after it had been made into a film. The vocalist with the orchestra is not Jack Cooper, but the ever-faithful Sam Brown. Jack Hilton and his orchestra with Sam Brown on November the 8th, 1929. Next Monday, January the 29th, it's the actual anniversary of Jack Hilton's passing exactly 25 years ago in 1965. I shall be choosing a program of Hilton recordings, but it's possible that we may have some interruptions to the music for commentaries from the Commonwealth Games in Auckland, New Zealand. Anyway, we shall see. Next, for a couple of faithfuls in Wolverhampton, Ted and Mary Rowley, who like usually the later, and I mean 40s, Dance Band Days recordings, but now and again suggest an earlier one, such as this, Lou Stone and Al Bowley from March 1934 in A Shelter from a Shower.
in simple taste, curly head and dimple face, and she had no time to waste. In a shelter from a shower, he was in a hurry too, kind of worried what to do. It's a tale that isn't new. In a shelter from a shower, the little raindrops in the sky knew that the girl was very shy and that the boy was afraid and meek. The raindrops pitter-pattered by and said the streets will soon be dry. The little girlie is yours. Just speak what he whispered, you can guess. And she shyly answered yes. So they found their happiness in a shelter from a shower.
In a Shelter from a Shower, Lou Stone, Al Bowley. And I think you're going to be doubly lucky, Ted and Mary. I see that one of your requests from later years is scheduled further down for another listener. By the way, In a Shelter from a Shower was recorded on March the 16th, 1934, and by coincidence, the next request, which is for R.W. Knight of Castlevale, Birmingham, was recorded the very next day, March the 17th, 1934. It was at a recording session by Henry Hall and the BBC Dance Orchestra, during which Les Allen joined the orchestra for this waltz song, One Life, One Love.
One love, break of dawn till sun is setting. In all the world I love only you, dear. One life, one love, other lips and arms forgetting. Forever I'll be faithful and true. Until the ending, since that day you came to me, two hearts are blending in one flowing melody. One life, one love, break of dawn till sun is setting. In all the world I love only you.
Henry Hall and the BBC Dance Orchestra with Les Allen and One Life, One Love, and I'm sure that alto saxophonist was Burton Gillis. Mike Dan, an increasingly active correspondent to this program, heard a snatch, he tells me, of Denny Dennis singing Things Are Looking Up on an edition of the first of the Summer Wine in October last year, and he wonders if I could find and play the whole recording. Well, you're quite right, Mr. Dan. The recording dates from December the 15th, 1937, and Denny sang it with the Roy Fox Orchestra at a time when the band included the following gentlemen who I regularly see at our monthly Coda Club meetings. Harry Gold, he was playing tenor sax in those days, and now, of course, he's pumping out the bass saxophone. Pianist Jack Nathan and guitarist Ivor Morantz. They were all in the Fox band then. And I'm sure all Coda Clubbers send greetings to Denny Dennis up there in Cumbria. Here he is with the Gershwins' Things Are Looking Up.
Things are looking up. I've been looking the landscape over, and it's covered with four-leaf clover. Oh, things are looking up since love looked up at me. Bitter was my cup, but no more will I be the mourner, for I've certainly turned the corner. Oh, things are looking up since love looked up at me. See the sunbeams, everyone beams just because of you. Love's in session and my depression is unmistakably through. Oh, things are looking up. It's a great little world we live in. Oh, I'm happy as a pup since love looked up at me.
Things Are Looking Up from Damsel in Distress, Roy Fox and Denny Dennis, and I guess that fiddle player was Harry Ballin. Now for a real piece of sentiment for Mr. A. Woolley of West Hallam in Derbyshire. I think I've found your first choice, the Oscar Grasso record, Mr. Woolley, but I'll know only in about a week or so, and if it turns up, I'll find a place for it. But in the meantime, your second choice. Now, most people, I'm sure, associate the voice of Chick Henderson with Joe Loss for songs like Begin the Begin and My Prayer and many others. But Chick also recorded with other bands, Harry Leader for one, Harry Roy for another, and here, the Organ, the Dance Band and Me on September the 5th, 1940, for the song The Memory of a Rose.
a lovely bride. Once said I will, but not to me. The south wind when it blows brings only recollection. There's nothing else to bring, so I cling to the memory of a rose.
The organ, the dance band, and me, led by Billy Thorburn at the piano, and the voice of Chick Henderson, The Memory of a Rose. The next tune has been recorded in varying tempi, from slow foxtrots to quick steps, and I'm sure somewhere I've heard it with added Latin rhythms. Here it gets the quick step treatment from Billy Cotton's band and Alan Breeze on May the 13th, 1941. And I'd like to play this for Bill and Jennifer Durrell of West Sussex. Cole Porter's Do I Love You?
I love you, do I? Doesn't one and one make two? Do I love you, do I? Does July need a sky of blue? Would I miss you, would I? If you ever should go away, if the sun should desert the day, what would life be? Will I leave you? Never could the ocean leave the shore. Will I worship you forever? Isn't heaven forevermore? Do I love you? Do I? Oh, my dear, it's so easy to see. Don't you know I do? Don't I show you I do, just as you love me?
Billy Cotton's band and Alan Breeze. If you were listening last week, there were several Coda clubbers to whom I sent birthday greetings. Van Phillips for one, Betty Taylor, Tiny Winters, and I mentioned Sam Gelsley. I played records for Van and Tiny, but not Sam Gelsley, but I promised one for this evening. And it comes with love from his wife Gloria for his 80th birthday. They live, by the way, down in Hove in Sussex. And she tells me that Sam played guitar for the bands of Howard Jacobs, Lou Stone, Jack Harris, Eric Robinson's TV orchestra, and he was a member of the RAOC Blue Rockets during the war. He also played for Harry Roy. And Keith Farbridge of the Harry Roy Society looked up a few details for me in between his high-flying act of falling off ladders. Incidentally, Keith is well recovered and full of beans, maybe a few bruises, though. He tells me that Sam joined Harry on the 3rd of July 1941 after spells with the bands I've already mentioned, plus Eddie Carroll and Joe Daniels. He left Harry in December 1943 and then rejoined in February 1946 and stayed until October 1947. Well, from his first stint for the Harry Roy Band, we have this record on which Sam gets some solo space, the Pennsylvania Polka. Harry and Marjorie Kingsley do the vocal, and this is Sam Gelsley's guitar.
The band has begun on the Pennsylvania Polka. Pick out your partner and join in the fun. The Pennsylvania Polka. It started in Scranton, it's now number one. It's bound to entertain you. Everybody has a mania to do the polka from Pennsylvania. Happy as can be. They stop to have a beer, then the crowd begins to cheer. They kiss and then they start to dance again.
Guitarist Sam Gelsley featured with Harry Roy and his orchestra on September the 4th, 1942 in the Pennsylvania Polka, recorded at the Empire Theatre in Nottingham, vocal by Harry Roy and Marjorie Kingsley. I know it's a little way ahead, but better that than I forget it altogether. The next meeting of the Harry Roy Appreciation Society is at the usual venue, the Concert Artists' Rooms in Bedford Street, that's just off the Strand, on Saturday, February the 17th, and they start, of course, the meeting starts at 6:30. I'll try and remind you nearer that time. And that's that for this week.